I was raised in a home that was biblically driven and in a home where my parents feared God and loved Him greatly. But there was an aspect where I didn't learn much about how to devotionally seek God. So there was a lot of knowing the right things and practicing the right things, but not seeking Him on a daily basis in my daily devotion. Getting to know God's heart and His nature, and getting to know my heart and my need for Him. That's been one of the key elements of growth in my experience in Leadership Pipeline.
One of the things that I've grown the most in has just been very practically through the way that our staff has provided me with opportunities. So the discipleship guide and being able to be on the ground floor of the brainstorming and ideas and formation of it, but then also having the opportunity to write some of the material there and do the recording there, seeing the different roles that the church plays, seeing different aspects of it that I never would have considered just as a member attending Rolling Hills.
My experience with the Leadership Pipeline has been absolutely amazing. I started out with the worship ministry, and now I'm with the high school ministry. Worship is something that I'm very passionate about, but I knew that there was like a point that I needed to step back, and I just wanted to learn how to articulate things better, because I could sing about things all day, but when it came to actually talking, it was just like something that made me super nervous. But I've had the opportunity to learn how to write curriculum. I've also been able to do a sermon and learn how to prepare for that, and so it's been super awesome and encouraging to step into things and do things that I never thought I'd be able to do.
I've also had 4 opportunities in the span of 8 months that I've gotten to preach, and that's been super helpful. And I think having the people around you that can constructively criticize you and giving you insight to, hey, you can shift this around in a sermon, or you can say this a different way, you can smile a little bit more and seem joyful. I think that's something that I've grown a lot in, is just being able to develop sermons and write those and portray the gospel in a manner that's helpful and that's effective.
Through being a resident now, an intern for a year, and now going into my year as a resident, I have really started to have that Devo time with God and surround myself with a community of believers, with the other interns and residents, as well as some people on staff.
I feel like I'm getting to do things that I wasn't prepared to do for another 5 years, but it's been some of the best experience. And also, as a part of Pipeline, I've got to meet a bunch of other residents and just build a community here that I wasn't expecting. We spend a lot of time together. We go get coffee after our meetings. We worship together on Sunday mornings. We go get lunch after church on Sundays and have a chance to invest in one another and hold one another accountable, while also learning about each other's lives and having fun as well.
Meeting people from across the country from different walks, being able to share, kind of the same way with the staff, but in the way of witnessing and learning from them, in the same way helping them grow and pour into each other.
Working with the college and young adult and being a resident there, I have an opportunity to grow with that community and make relationships with everyone there.
I love when we have our Mentor Mondays for lunch, where we have different staff members that come and they share their testimony and they share with us how they've seen the calling that God had on their lives. And so it's easy to see that you put people that are already on the church staff on this big pedestal, but it's really awesome for God to show you, they came from this and I brought them to this, and I can do the same for you.
Pastoral care team does a really good job of investing in its interns and its residents and making sure that we feel like we're getting the experience that we want further down the road.
I know that no church is perfect, but Rolling Hills has prayer as a priority, and it's helped my prayer life and my life grow stronger, but it's also, Rolling Hills has set a precedent for the church and the environment that I want to be at once I'm out of the Leadership Pipeline.
And so if somebody was interested in joining, somebody was interested in applying, I'd say if they're graced with the opportunity to work here, to get involved, get to know people, take them out to coffee, take them out to lunch. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because the people here, they're awesome and the Lord's working through them.